everyone, my name is Jen. I'm here at home to bring you a simple chair yoga practice. You're welcome to practice in any kind of chair, though you'll notice that I have one that does not have arms. This is a little bit easier to move around in. Of course, you'll want to use any chair that you have handy or available to you today. And just as a reminder, everything that I offer, everything that we do is optional. And the invitation is always to do just as much or as little as feels right for you today. So if you want to skip something, sit things out, if you want to move in a different way, that's always a good option. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started in a comfortable seat. So if you'd like, you might scooch up in your chair a little bit so that your feet can be flat on the mat and you're sitting tall using the strength of your own spine rather than leaning back and relying on the strength of the chair to hold you up. So we're going to start just by noticing what's happening with the shoulders. Often when we sit down, we tend to relax into it and the shoulders kind of start to round forward here. So you're just going to notice if that's true for you. And if you find that your shoulders are rounding forward, we're just going to see if we can sit up a little bit taller and bring the shoulders up, back, and down. Looking for a longer spine today. It doesn't have to be perfect. Whatever you can manage today is good. Just looking to see if we can get those shoulders back and down away from the ears is going to do a lot of good benefit for you here today. You can allow your hands to rest on your knees or your thighs. You could also allow the arms to rest at your sides if that feels good for you today. We're going to start with a little bit of breath work and taking some time to get into our bodies. So if you'd like, you can start to close the eyes a little bit here, bringing that awareness a little bit more inward, acknowledging how it feels to be in your body today, acknowledging how it feels to be seated in your chair. So you might start by noticing any physical sensations, noticing the feet on the mat or the ground beneath you. Noticing the legs, looking to see what muscles are engaging. Looking to see if you can relax the muscles of the legs a little bit more completely. Allowing all the muscles around the abdomen to start to relax. Notice if you're holding your belly in and see if you can sit up tall, but relax the belly. Sometimes that's a little bit challenging to find. Making sure the shoulders are down away from the ears and the chest is broad and open. Now we're going to start to take awareness to the breath. So starting to notice how fast or slow your breath is moving. This is a good indicator into how we're doing. When the breath is moving a little bit faster, it tends to mean that the heart rate is a little more accelerated, and it usually means we're a little bit more excited or anxious. And we can help to calm the body by helping to slow down the breath. So looking to see if you can draw in just a little bit more air as you inhale. And then as you exhale, looking to allow the lungs to empty completely. Deep breaths in through the nose. And complete exhales out the nose. We'll take just a few more breaths here, noticing all the qualities of our breath. Looking to see what parts of the body move with the breath. See if you can find that long, smooth breath. You may also start to notice here how each breath is unique. See if you can allow each breath to happen as it may, without trying to force or effort too much. Now, as you're ready, we're going to start to find a little bit of gentle movement with that breath. Let's start with our shoulders today. So on the next inhale, you can keep your eyes closed or you can open them up. We're going to start to bring the shoulders up toward the ears. And then as you exhale, you can start to lower the shoulders down, relaxing them down. On the inhale, shoulders rise up. And on the exhale, they soften down. Inhale, shoulders rise. Exhale, they release. Let's do one more. Inhale up. Exhale, release. Now, as it feels right, we're going to start to bring the arms into it. So on the next inhale, we'll circle arms around and up. And if your arms don't come all the way up, that's okay. You'll stop wherever they want to stop. Then on the exhale, we'll release arms down and around. And I know you can hear my pups. They're moving. But even as there's movement around us, we can find this sense of ease and this sense of stillness within ourselves. See if you can find that. Let the world move around you. And you're here in your space, moving through your practice. One more time. Inhale, arms up. And then on the exhale, we'll release them down. Nice job. Now we're going to start to bring the hands into the heart. If it's available to you, you can press the palms together a little bit, using a little strength through your biceps. If this doesn't feel good on your wrist, then apply less pressure, or you could bring the fingertips together rather than the palm. Think about sitting tall. Notice if you're starting to round the back again. I know sometimes as we relax, this starts to happen, but we're going to see what we can do to sit up tall, shoulders back. Even with the hands in front of us, we can bring the shoulders back. Sometimes when the arms or hands come forward, then the shoulders want to round forward. But what we're doing here is we're practicing having the arms in front of us and the shoulders back. So you may feel that you have a little stretch here through your chest. We'll stretch that out a little bit more. We're going to do a little bit of a dynamic twist with our breath. So on the inhale, you're going to think about drawing the top of the head a little higher, finding more length through the spine. Then as you exhale, I'm going to mirror you. We're going to take this right arm around and back, and you can watch your hand, if it's okay with your neck, you can watch your hand as it moves back. Then on the inhale, we're going to bring this right hand back forward. You can watch it as it comes forward, and the palms meet once again. Then we move to the left side. Inhale, the left arm stretches out and it starts to reach back behind you. If it's okay on your neck, the gaze is going to follow and watch that hand. See how far back it goes. Then on the next inhale, we're going to come all the way back to center and the palms meet. Let's do 3 more times to each side. We're going to move just a little bit faster. Remember to only go to the place that feels supportive and safe in your body. So sit tall on the inhale. Before we start to move the spine, we want to sit tall. Then on the exhale, we're going to start to take our twist to the right. The gaze can follow the hand if that's okay on the neck. On the inhale, we're going to meet back in the center. If you come there first, that's okay. As you exhale, we'll start to move to the left. Move at your own pace. It's okay if your movements are different than mine. As we inhale, we'll come back to center. Maybe you can watch that left hand as it draws back to the right. Then with the right hand, we go back. On the inhale, we'll return. Palms start to meet at your own pace. Sit tall on the inhale. As you exhale, left arm goes back. Let's do one more time each side. So once the palms meet in the middle, we're going to sit tall again. Exhale, we'll twist to the right. Inhale, back to center. Sit tall. Exhale, we twist to the left. Inhale, back to center. Sit nice and tall. This time on the exhale, let's let the hands come down to the lap. Give your arms a little bit of a rest. Check in with what's happening to those shoulders. Are they rounding forward? Can you draw them up, back, and down? We're going to open up through the chest a little bit more here. So let's take the hands back behind us, and you might find the side of the chair. Maybe you can find the back of the chair. But what we want to notice as we start to reach the hands back, are we rounding forward? And if so, we want to sit tall, reach the arms back so my shoulders are lifted. They're not rounded forward. Once you've got that, you can work on bringing the hands further back if it's available today. You can work on lifting the chest up if that's appropriate. You could work on leaning forward a little bit. So whichever of those is appropriate today, we're going to hold wherever you're at for about 2 more breaths. Make them long, slow, deep. One more breath. And then as you exhale, we'll release all the way back to that neutral seat. Now we're going to take a little forward fold. So you can allow the hands to rest on the knees or the thighs. On the inhale, we're going to sit tall again. Remember, we want that long, long spine first. Then on the exhale, you can start to come into a little bit of a forward fold. So as we fold forward, we're stretching out the hips, the glutes here, the lower back. You may feel a big stretch all through here. If you're okay here, you'll stay right here. If you have a deeper forward fold calling to you, you can start to slide the hands down the legs, and you may stop around the middle shin. You may be able to find the lower leg or the ankle, the feet. You might even be able to find the floor between your feet. Whatever is appropriate today, wherever you can make it today. If it's possible, you can allow the head to hang a little bit heavy, so we're stretching out the back of the neck. Let's take about 2 more breaths here. As you feel ready to move on, we're going to start to make our way out, so you can start to bring the hands back to the knees or thighs if they've come somewhere else. And on the inhale, we're going to pull the belly in as we rise. That's going to help support the back. Sit up nice and tall here. Notice what's happening to the shoulders. Are they rounded forward? Can you bring them up, back, and down? Think about sitting up tall so we're not crunching weight into that low spine. Now we'll try a little bit of dynamic side bending. I have to scooch up in my chair a little bit, and you may choose to do that too. Think about sitting up nice and tall here. We're going to bring our arms by our sides. Now I'm going to start to reach arms up overhead. If it doesn't feel right to do that on the shoulder, then you'll stop wherever is appropriate for you today. On the inhale, we're going to start to take that right arm around and up, and we're going to pause at the top or as close to the top as you can get today. Once you've got that, we're going to energetically reach fingers in opposite directions. So as you do that, you may already feel a deeper stretch here, but we're not dumping weight into this side. This arm, the left arm, is still really energetic. Then on the next exhale, we'll start to come into a deeper side bend. If that's appropriate, you can keep the right arm straight, or you can bend the elbow a little bit. That's okay. On the inhale, let's lengthen back up, reach through the fingers. Then on the exhale, we'll release the right arm down. We're going to do the same thing on the left. So on the inhale, the left arm sweeps around and up. Pause here. Reach fingertips in opposite directions. The right fingers are reaching towards the ground. Left fingers are reaching up. You may already feel a stretch on the side body here. Remember, if your arm is out here, that's okay. Wherever you can get it today, it doesn't have to be straight. On the next exhale, if it's appropriate, you can deepen your side bend by bringing the arm over the ear or bending through the side body a little bit. On the inhale, we'll come back up, and on the exhale, let's release all the way back down. We're going to do that a little bit faster with our breath to help wake up the side body. Inhale, right arm comes around and up. Exhale, we come into a little bit of a side bend. Inhale, we come out, and exhale, the right arm releases down, left side. Inhale, left arm comes up. Exhale, we find a little bit of a side bend. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, left arm goes down. Let's do one more time each side. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, rise. Exhale, release. Left arm up. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, rise. And exhale, release. Let's float the hands back down to the knees. We're going to move through a few of our cat-cow. So I'm going to turn to my side so that you can see what's happening on the spine here. On the inhale, we're going to start to lift the chest up. The gaze can start to go up if that's okay on your neck. If not, you'll keep the gaze straight forward. On the next exhale, we're going to start to round the back, and you can tuck the chin toward the chest if that's safe on your neck. Inhale, we lift the chest. You can lift the gaze if that's safe on the neck. Exhale, we'll round the back and tuck the chin under. You can move through about 3 more at your own pace. These movements are good at loosening up tension through the spine and the shoulders. Let's do one more if you're still with me. At the bottom of your exhale, we're going to meet in that neutral seat, thinking about bringing the shoulders so that they're over the hips. We're seated nice and tall, ankles under the knees. So we're going to move into a little bit of our chair warrior one. So think about having the feet, all 4 corners of both feet on the mat. Then see if you can press down through the feet. So my legs are pretty active here. Knees and ankles are aligned. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just do your best today. We're going to engage the core to help protect the spine. Sit up nice and tall. You can bring your hands to your heart, but remember, as we bring the hands forward, we want to keep the shoulders back. Notice, are you starting to do this kind of movement? And see, can you roll the shoulders back down so we can be seated upright? You can keep your hands at the heart, or if you'd like, you can start to reach arms up, floating arms up overhead. What we want to be aware of if we bring the arms up is what's happening to the shoulders. Are they starting to bunch up to the ears? And can you allow them to rest down? So see if you can find that space between effort and ease, light engagement of the core, legs are active. If it's available, arms are reaching up, but the shoulders are soft down away from the ears. You can have a bend in the arms if you need. We're going to see if we can hold here for about 3 more breaths, working on strengthening our arms, our shoulders, the muscles on the upper back and through the chest. 1 more breath. And on your next exhale, let's go ahead and float the hands down. See if you can bring them down nice and slowly, nice and gently. Allow the hands to rest on the lap. We'll roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Let's do about 3 or 4 times, depending on how fast or slow you're moving. Just checking out to see what the shoulders feel like today. Nice job. Let's do 1 more if you're still with me. And then we're going to rest with the shoulders down, away from the ears. Let's get into the arms and shoulders a little bit more. On the inhale, we're going to circle arms around and up, reach up. On the exhale, we're going to start to bend the elbows. So here again, we're working on strengthening those arms after that short break. See if you can keep the elbows up so they're a little higher than the shoulders and the shoulders down away from the ears. Now, if it's available, we're going to start to squeeze the elbows back together. So I'll turn so you can see the side view. So you might even get a little bit of a lift through the chest, and you could think about squeezing the shoulder blades together on the back body. So we're strengthening that upper back here. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Keep lifting the top of the head so we're not crunching into the lower back. Let's take one more breath here. Then on the exhale, we're going to start to bring the arms back together. See if you can bring both hands to touch at the same time. I know sometimes that's challenging. Then on the inhale, we're going to open them out wide again. Exhale, we're going to bring the hands together. Maybe you can bring the forearms together this time. If that's not available, that's okay. Inhale, come back out. I know my arms are getting tired. Are yours? Building so much strength. As you exhale, hands come back together. Slow, slow, slow. See if you can get the palms to touch at the same time. Inhale, arms open out. We're going to do that one more time. I know the shoulders are getting tired now, aren't they? Let's bring the palms back together. Now we're going to pause here. We're going to do a little bit of a stretch through the arms and shoulders. So if it's available, you can bring the elbows together. That's a pretty big movement, so it may not be available for everyone. So if this doesn't work for the left elbow to come under the right, so they kind of tuck together, if that's not working for you, you're just going to bring them as close together as you can, and then you'll bring arms to opposite shoulders. With the hands on the shoulders, this is a great way to notice what's happening with the shoulders. Are they bunching up? Are they releasing down? If you're in this position, then you're just using your awareness to notice what's happening with the shoulders. Nice job. Now from wherever you are, we're going to see if we can create more space on our back. So imagine that the shoulder blades are moving a little bit further apart, but see if you can still sit tall. We're going to take our awareness to this area between the shoulder blades. We tend to get a lot of tension there, and we're just going to think about breathing into that space. Imagine as you inhale that the shoulder blades are moving further apart. Imagine as you exhale that they're moving closer together. It may not be physically happening in the body, but if we just imagine it, we can help to stretch and strengthen those muscles on the back body. Let's do 2 more breaths here. And when you're ready, we're going to release this so you can bring your hands back to your thighs. Now we're going to do a little opposite stretch to open up the chest a little bit more. Similar to what we did earlier, make sure the shoulders are up, back, and down. So this is important. We don't want to be rounding forward. We want to be sitting tall, shoulders back and down to the extent that that's available today. Then we're going to reach the hands down by our sides. Shoulders are soft. Start to squeeze the shoulder blades together and bring your hands back behind you. So here's the side view. My hands are going back behind. You could hold on somewhere on the chair if it's available, or you can keep your fingers straight and just think about reaching the fingertips back and reaching the chest forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. You could keep your hands separated, or if it's available, I'm just going to give this as an option, but it's pretty deep, so don't worry if it doesn't work for you today. You can start to bring the hands together, and maybe the fingertips can come together. Maybe you can take an opposite thumb. One day, maybe you'll be able to interlace all 10 fingers together. And again, if that's not working for you today, you'll stay right here with the fingertips reaching away, the chest reaching forward. Let's take just one more breath here so you know what we're stretching and strengthening here is our chest, right? Stretching our chest, strengthening the upper back. On the next exhale, let's go ahead and release. We'll rest our hands back in our lap. Now we're going to do side to same sequence. I know we're getting a lot of work through the arms and shoulders today. On the inhale, let's circle arms around and up. On the exhale, we're going to start to bend the elbows. So if it's available, we'll keep the elbows up higher than the shoulders, shoulders down away from the ears. So we're building that strength through our arms, through our shoulders, through our chest, through our upper back. So important so that we can stay mobile and strong, so that we can pick up grandkids if we have them. Now, once again, on the exhale, we're going to start to bring the palms, fingertips, forearms, whatever you can get together. See if you can bring them together. Then on the inhale, we open arms out wide. Exhale, fingertips, palms, forearms, whatever you can touch, get them together. Then on the inhale, we come out. One more. Exhale. Inhale. This time on the exhale, we're going to take our little bind. So, bring the hands a little closer together. If you stacked the elbows on the other side, this time it's the right that's going to come under the left. Unless you did this side before, then you'll do the other. If it's not available to be here, you can come here. The elbows just come as close as they can together, and then the hands rest on the shoulders. Make sure the shoulders are down away from the ears. We're going to take a few breaths here. So we're going to imagine that we're breathing into the back body. Think about sitting up nice and tall, rolling shoulders up, back, and down. The breath is flowing. Imagining on the inhale that the shoulder blades are moving further apart, stretching out the back. On the exhale, imagine the shoulder blades are drawing closer together. Keep the breath flowing here. Feel that expansion as you inhale. Maybe a light sense of a contraction on the exhale. We'll take one more breath here. And on the next exhale, we're going to rest the hands down from wherever they were at. One more time, we're going to give that bigger stretch through the chest. So first things first, notice what's happening to the shoulders. Are they rounded forward? And can you roll them up, back, and down? Think about squeezing the shoulder blades together, and then we'll start to reach the hands back behind us. So remember your options here. You might be reaching the hands back, and they're pretty far apart. You might be working on bringing the hands closer together, so maybe fingertips can find one another. Maybe you can hold on to an opposite thumb. You might one day be able to interlace all 10 fingers together. And remember, if that's not happening today, it doesn't matter. It's not so important how deep we go. What is important is that we're taking care of ourselves. Reach back through the fingers from wherever you are. Reach the chest forward. Feel the shoulder blades moving closer together. Feel the spaciousness of the chest. So let's take a few more breaths here. This time we're going to imagine that we're breathing through our heart. So on the inhale, the chest expands even more. And on the exhale, the chest moves inward. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, relax. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, relax. Nice job. Let's go ahead and release. We'll bring the hands back in front of us, and let's take one more forward fold. This time I'll give you the option, if you'd like a little more hip opening, you can step the feet out a little bit wider apart. If this doesn't feel right for you, bring the feet back together. We're going to take a moment to sit up nice and tall, hands on the knees or thighs. Then on the exhale, start to lean forward. Coming forward any amount, you might have your hands, they may stay on the thighs. You might be able to slide elbows to the knees or thighs. For more depth, you can slide hands down the shins. So just find that place that feels available to you today. that place that feels supportive in your body. And we're just gonna hold here for about 3 more breaths. Release early if you need to. On the next exhale, we're going to start to make our way out. So if your hands are all the way down, we're going to start to bring them to the knees or thighs. Then we're going to squeeze our abdominals to rise all the way up. Nice job. See if you can find that tall spine. Notice what's happening to the shoulders. Are they rounding forward? Can you roll them up, back, and down? Now, if your feet are closer together, if it's available, I'll invite you to step them a little bit wider apart so that we can get deeper into our inner thighs, stretching through the hips a little bit. So you might scooch up in your chair a little bit. We're going to find a little bit of movement from here, sitting up nice and tall. On the next exhale, we're going to move the right knee in toward the center, and the left knee may be able to move to the left a little bit. Then we'll come back to center. Then we rotate to the other side. So the left knee starts to rotate in, and the right knee, maybe it can rotate to the right a little bit. Then we come back to center. And you can start to move with your own breath in your own time. Your movements may be bigger, smaller, faster, slower than mine, and that's okay. We're just exploring a little bit of movement through the body. As it feels available to take bigger movements, you could start to do so. If that's not for you today, that's okay. So notice as my movements get a little bit bigger, I'm able to get the bottom knee down and back a little bit more, and that stretches my quad. If that's not available for you today, that's okay. You can keep the movements very small, and we're still getting a little stretch through the hips. So whatever you've got in you today, it's okay. We just do what we can. Every day is different, and we just honor what our body can give us today. Let's do one more time on each side. And then as you feel ready, we're going to start to find that neutral seat. You can slide back in your chair a little bit. We'll work on the arms and shoulders a little bit more here. So on the next inhale, we're going to circle arms around and up. Then on the exhale, we'll bring arms forward and down. Inhale, arms forward and up. And it's okay if yours don't lift as high as mine. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, around and up. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, down and around. One more. Inhale, around and up. Exhale, forward and down. Inhale, forward and up. Exhale, around and down. Nice job. Let's rest the hands on the lap. We're going to get into the shoulder just a little bit more. I know we've been doing a lot on the arms and shoulders today. So we're going to start some gentle arm circles. We'll start on the right side, and I'll mirror you. I'll turn to the side so you can get a little bit better view of what's happening. If that's helpful for you, you can stay right where you are. So you might start with small circles. So we're just going to start to take a little rotation with the arm. And it's okay, yours could be smaller than mine with your hand down low. Maybe you'd like to lift the arm up a little bit. So just exploring what kind of circle you can make today with the arm. As it feels available, you might find that you can make it a little bit bigger and broader. If that's not happening for you today, it's okay. Stay where you're at. Stay where you feel comfortable. Maybe just giving yourself a little bit of a challenge. Just notice what you can do here. Notice any sensations that are arising. If it doesn't feel right, then you'll want to rest or stop. Let's do 2 more in this direction if you're still with me. And I know it gets tiring, right? Now we're going to try to rotate in the opposite direction. So remember, your arm could be down low, making smaller circles. It might be closer up to shoulder height, making small circles. As you feel ready, you might be able to make bigger circles. So whatever you can do today is okay. Just think about sitting up tall as you move. Let's do about 2 more in this direction if you're still with me. Nice job. Let's go ahead and rest that right arm down. Ooh, that's a lot of work, isn't it? You can give your shoulder a little rub. Sometimes just a little warmth from our hand can be nice. Notice the difference between the right and left shoulder. Notice what you feel. I get sensations of heat. I get a little bit of tingling sensation of those muscles that I just worked around the joint. See what you can feel. Then we're going to start with the left. So we'll start by bringing the left arm down and starting circling any amount. Remember, the arm could be down low. If it's available, you could start to bring the arm up closer to shoulder height for your circles. As you feel ready, you can start to make the circle a little bit bigger. And if that's not available today, then that's okay. You just do what you can each day. Every day is going to be different. And we do one arm at a time because each shoulder is different too. This one may feel more challenged than the other one. Or maybe you feel more freedom on this side. Check in and see if you can notice what's happening here for you. We'll do about 2 more in this side. I'm getting a little popping on this side. And then when you're ready, we'll rest, take a breath, and then we're going to start to move in the opposite direction. Remember, it could be a small circle with a hand down low. It could be a little bit bigger, or the hand could start to draw up closer to the shoulder. You just do what you can today. It's not so important how big we move. What's important is that we're honoring our body and doing what feels right. See if you can slowly start to wind into something bigger. And maybe that won't work today, but you just do what you can. As long as you're honoring your body, you're doing it right. Let's do 2 more in this direction if you've got it in you, and if not, that's okay. You rest out. And then let's all go ahead and rest. You can rest the left hand in the lap, on the knee, on the thigh. If you'd like, you can give your arm or your shoulder a little bit of rub, bringing that warmth to those muscles. Thanking them for doing so much work for you today. Nice job. We've got just a little bit more time. We've been doing a lot of work on the upper body today, so let's go ahead and rest that, and we'll do a little work on the core. I know it's everyone's favorite, but it's important. We need these strong core muscles so that we don't get an achy back, so that we can sit up tall. It's really important to have strong core. So I know nobody likes doing their core work. It's okay, but we want to get it done. So see if we can strengthen those muscles. So if you'd like, you can start to scoot yourself back into your chair. This is so that we don't overuse the back muscles. We want to try to use these muscles in front. And I know sometimes we can get really disconnected from these muscles if we don't actively use them every day. Then sometimes they can get a little bit weak, and it can be a little bit harder to find engagement in our body. So we'll start by looking for that sense of engagement. See if you can sit up tall, and then notice how as we sit up tall, I'm just turning to my side so that you can see a little bit better what I'm talking about. You can stay where you're at. Notice how as you sit up tall, my belly automatically starts to come in. And why is that? Because I'm supporting the tall spine with my abdominal muscles. See if you can find that. Lift up and squeeze the belly in, and notice what muscles you need to help support your spine. These are the important muscles that we want to be strong so that we can sit tall, so that we can continue living our lives and doing the things that we need to do. Think about sitting up nice and tall here. Squeeze the belly in. But see if you can keep the breath moving, and notice that balance. With engagement of the core, sometimes it's hard to keep the breath flowing. The breath, it tends to be a little bit higher in the body. And if you're not sure, if you can't find it today, it's okay, just try. And when we try, we can start to make things happen. All right, let's go ahead and relax, release. Whew, let the belly hang heavy here. And notice how that feels. Notice the difference. When we actively release the abdomen, what happens to your seat? What happens to the way you're sitting? I know for me, my shoulders drop down a little bit, and I tend to drop down into the lower back a little bit more. Sometimes my shoulders can come forward a little bit when I really think about relaxing my abdomen. So there's no right or wrong here. Just see what happens when you allow your abdomen to relax. Did the way you were sitting change? Let's try to sit up tall again and find that light core engagement. So shoulders are up, back, and down. We're sitting nice and tall. Pull the belly in. You can hold here just like we did before, or if it's available, we can start to find a little bit of movement. And when we pick the legs up, that means we have to really engage the core. So we're going to try that. Let's start on the right side, and I'm going to mirror you, and you're only going to do this if it's appropriate today. You can hold here and work on your core strength just like we did before. Squeeze the lower belly and take your awareness to that space between your belly button and the pubic bone, that low belly. Make sure it's really firm, or as firm as you can get it today. Then we're going to see if we can squeeze that right knee up a little bit, and then we're going to drop it down. Then see if you can squeeze the left knee up and drop it down. Notice that core strength. That's kind of like a crunch to squeeze the knee up, right? Let's try again. We're going to do 2 more times each side. Rest out if you need. I know this is a challenging position. Squeeze the belly in. As you exhale, you're going to draw that right knee up and then drop it down. Yours may not be lifting as high as mine, and that's okay. Then the left knee squeezes up. But what you may notice is I'm not rounding the back to make it happen. I'm sitting tall. And then we drop the knee down. Let's do 1 more time each side. Right knee lifts. And then it lowers. With control, left knee lifts. And then it lowers. Nice job. Let's give that belly a little stretch. You can lean back in your chair. And just see if you can allow the belly to expand as you breathe here. Stretch out all those muscles. Now I'll give you 1 more, and you can skip this if what we did before was pretty challenging for you today. But I'll give you 1 more challenge for anybody who's up for a bigger challenge. Remember, it's optional. Sit up tall, find that base position, belly is nice and strong. You can hold on to the sides of the chair if you like, or hands could be at the heart. That's going to be way more challenging, or wherever else you would like them to be. So I'm going to show the holding the chair option. And actually, I'll turn to my side so that you can see what's happening from the side view. You'll want to do this from the front view. So when you're ready, we're going to see if we can pick both knees up off the mat. So much work, right? 1 more breath. Then on the exhale, let's release it down. Whew, that was a lot of work. Let's give that belly a little stretch now. So this time we're going to lean back in our chair. You can even allow the shoulders to roll back a little bit so the chest feels like it's a little bit lifted, and you may feel the belly stretching a little bit more. Allow all those muscles to rest and relax. Sometimes even giving your abdomen a little rub can help those muscles relax. Feel that warmth of the hands. If you'd like, you can start to stretch the legs out. You can have the hands on the belly, or if you like, you can release them down. We'll just take a few breaths. Take a rest. You deserve it. You earned it. Feel the movement of the breath here. Notice how it moves. Filling the chest, the lungs with air. And notice as we fill the chest with air, the abdomen expands too. What's causing the abdomen to expand is the action of our breath. We have this thoracic diaphragm in our rib cage. And as we breathe in, it moves down and it pushes all those organs down into our belly, displacing them, causing our belly to extend and expand. See if you can witness that process. Maybe you can create a little bit more expansion. Let's do about 3 more breaths here. Nice job. Then let's make our way back into that neutral seat. We've got just a little bit more time left, so we'll do a little bit of stretching on those legs. If you'd like, you can scooch up in your chair a little bit, and we're just going to start to extend the right leg out. And it's okay if the leg doesn't extend all the way out. If you are in a chair that doesn't have arms, it helps me a little bit to rotate to the side, so that way this thigh can be on the mat, this hip is on the chair, and this hip is actually off the chair. That's helping me to be able to extend the leg out. If this doesn't work for you, or if you're in a chair with arms, just do your best to get a little bit more length in this leg. And as you do, you'll start to feel a stretch on the back of the leg. Now you'll start by sitting up nice and tall, and then check out, see what the back of the leg feels like. If it's appropriate, you can start to flex the right toes toward the face. And as you bring the toes toward the face, you'll feel a deeper stretch on the leg. If you want an even bigger stretch, you can start to lean forward a little bit, and you choose the amount that feels appropriate for you. Think about reaching the chest forward and the tailbone back. So notice I'm not rounding my back. I've got a long spine here. That may not be available for you, but you might see if you can find it today. Let's do 2 more breaths on this side. Release early if you need. Always do what you need to do to take care of yourself. 1 more breath. Then we're going to rise all the way back up, and we're just going to switch those legs. So you can start to extend the left leg out. Remember, you could be facing center. Maybe you're in an arm with chairs that doesn't give you the space to rotate. If you want to try rotating a little bit, what you'll notice is that it just gives me the space so that this thigh can be on the chair so I feel safe, but this one is able to come off the chair a little bit so I can extend the leg out. If this doesn't feel safe, if it's not available to you, it's perfectly fine to be here, right? Sometimes it's just a little bit harder to find the straight leg with the leg kicking out in front because the chair gets in the way. So think about sitting up nice and tall. Find that length in the spine. If it's appropriate, you can start to flex the left toes toward the face. And notice it may feel different on this side. Check it out. Is it different? And if so, where does it feel different? Is it more toward the calf, the thigh, the hip? Is it something in the foot? If you want more of a stretch, you can start to lean forward a little bit, but notice how long my back is. I'm not trying to round my back a lot. I'm trying to find that length in the spine. So sometimes we tend to think of our back and the backs of our legs as different entities, but they're all connected. It's all part of our back body, right? So what you may notice, if you're getting a lot of round in your back, you'll feel a bigger stretch in your back. If you're able to keep the back pretty straight, you'll feel a bigger stretch in the back of the leg. Why is that? Because when we round the back takes some of the stretch from the leg. And it's okay, you just do what you can today, right? Let's see if we can hold here for about 2 more breaths. Release early if you need. Then on the next exhale, let's go ahead and release. So we're going to bring both feet back into the center. We'll take one more little twist and then we're going to find a little bit of relaxation. So on the inhale, we're going to sit nice and tall, sit up as tall as you can. Then as you exhale, we're going to take a little twist to the right. So you can start by placing the left hand on the right knee. What you're going to notice is that the shoulders are still down and we're sitting tall. If you'd like a deeper twist, the right hand might be able to find the side of the chair or the back of the chair. You choose the twist that's appropriate today. Both sitting bones are planted. We're sitting tall. If it's appropriate, you can start to gaze back behind you, and this will bring the twist all the way through the neck, all the way to the lower spine. One more breath here. Then on the exhale, we'll release, unwind, come back to center. We've got one more side to go. So starting by sitting tall, then on the exhale, right hand will slide to the left knee or thigh. You can hold here. If you'd like to find more depth, you can start to move that left hand back to wherever feels appropriate. Shoulders are soft, we're sitting tall. If it's available, you can start to take your gaze back behind you over that back left shoulder. 2 more breaths here. Then on your next exhale, let's release, unwind, we'll come back to center, and we're just gonna find our way into a little bit of relaxation. So you can allow your back to rest on the chair, you can have your feet on the mat, you could spread them out a little bit, hands could be resting on your thighs, they could be beside you. The gaze could be forward, or you could rest the chest or the chin down toward the chest, whatever helps you find a deeper sense of relaxation. So you may be set up very different from me, and that's okay. Do whatever you need to do, make any adjustments that you need to make in your body to see if you can find a sense of ease so that you can allow all the muscles of the body to relax. You can close the eyes if that's safe today. And we're just going to start to witness the breath. Witnessing how fast or slow. Noticing how deep or shallow. Take your awareness through your body, from your toes all the way up to the top of the head, noticing how you feel after some movement. All the work is done. The only thing left to do here is just to relax, to be in our bodies, and to breathe. With the eyes closed and the body completely relaxed, we're going to start to create a little visualization here. Start to think about a plate in front of you. So we didn't talk about nutrition, so I thought we'd do a little nutrition meditation. So we're just going to see if we can visualize a plate. And now see if you can fill your plate with food. Notice what you put on your plate. And notice what comes up, what arises for you as you start to fill your plate with food. Are there emotions, positive or negative? How do you feel about what you're putting on your plate? Notice what types of food you're putting on your plate. We know that in order to have a nutritious plate, we need a mix of foods. We want to make sure that we're including some fruits and vegetables, some healthy carbohydrates, a little bit of dairy if that's appropriate for our system. See if you can create for yourself a nutritious meal, a well-rounded plate in your mind's eye. Imagine your plate is very colorful. You can put anything that you want on it. Now imagine how this nourishes our body. Think about all the vitamins, the minerals. These are our micronutrients. Think about what you're nourishing yourself with today. We can make the choice every day to nourish our bodies or not. The power is within you. The choice is within you. What can you do today to make healthier choices so that you can support your body and your mind a little bit better? When we're taking in proper nutrition, we have more energy. We're able to focus better. And we tend to feel better, physically, mentally, emotionally. If you choose, you can set your intention for the day to think about bringing in more nutrition, whatever that means to you. And it could be just that the body is accepting nutrition from the food that you're taking in. Can you allow for that? It could be thinking about making different choices today. We'll take just a few more breaths here, trusting our bodies to take in the right amount of air that we need. And as you feel ready, we're going to start to deepen that breath. Bringing in just a little bit more air as you inhale. Thinking about emptying the lungs a little bit more fully as you exhale. On the next inhale, if you'd like, you can reach arms up overhead for a big stretch. On the exhale, we'll make our way back to that neutral seat. If you choose, you can draw hands into heart, and we'll take one more breath here together. On the inhale, filling the lungs, taking in all the benefits of our practice. As we exhale, letting go of anything that isn't serving us today. We'll seal our practice with a little bow. Namaste, which means the light in me sees and acknowledges the same light in you. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to drop them in the comments. Thank you so much.